Hey guys, I know I look a mess right now, but that's because I'm gonna be traveling today and I don't feel like doing my hair or makeup. So it's just air drying and I'm a little bit sunburned. Just mostly on my nose and a little bit on my forehead. Anyway, this video is about my VidCon experience and my first VidCon experience because this is the first year I ever went to VidCon. So I'm sure a lot of random people are gonna be stumbling across this video in the future. So I just thought I would introduce myself a little. So I'm Baylee. This is my vlog channel, Bumble Baylee. I do daily vlogs here, and then I also have my Baylee J channel where I upload art videos, and that's my main channel. And at the time I'm making this video, I have about 620,000 subscribers on that channel, and then this one has like 100 and some thousand. Anyway, that's kind of relevant for what I'm going to talk about later in the video. So yeah, I do my art videos, my daily vlogs, and I also have a toy channel, but that's kind of newer and just sort of a small channel where I unbox toys because I have a problem. So anyway, this year was my first VidCon 2016, and I didn't really know what to expect going into it. I got a ticket for last year, but I ended up returning it because I just felt like I had too many trips going on. Plus I think it was only 1 week away from D23. Like they were back-to-back weekends, and so I was like, okay, well, I can't really stay in the city that long. This is a little bit too much, so I opted to do D23 instead, which is a Disney convention, and I hadn't heard of it before that, so this D23 was new to me too. And so I opted for D23, which I do not regret. D23 is amazing. So anyway, this year was my first VidCon, and I didn't have anyone to come with me, so I ended up rooming with another art YouTuber, Art a la carte. And so we had never met before in person, but we've communicated online. We had collaborated on some art in the past, and so we roomed together to cut down on costs and everything. So the way we plan the trip is we were gonna make a bit of a Disney trip out of it, plus we wanted to see the Harry Potter world and Universal. So what we did was we stayed for a whole week from Monday to Monday. And so we flew in on a Monday, did Disney that day and the next day, then Universal on the third day, then 3 days of VidCon, and then on Sunday did our third day of Disney, and that's also the Disney day for VidCon. And now today is the last Monday, and I'm leaving today. So I would say overall, I'm a little bit disappointed in VidCon. The rest of the trip was super good, and VidCon was good, but I feel like I'm disappointed, and it's kind of my own fault that I'm disappointed. Where I went wrong was I got the wrong ticket. Because they have different tracks that you can buy a ticket for. So there's the community track. That's for people who watch YouTubers and who are fans of YouTubers, and they want to meet YouTubers, that kind of thing. So with a community ticket, you can access the signing hall, you can meet other YouTubers, get a picture with them, get their signature, whatever you want. And that's what you can do. But as a community member, you can't access certain areas that are exclusive to the other two tracks. So the middle track is creator track. That means you're a YouTuber and you make YouTube videos, or you're interested in making YouTube videos, and maybe you haven't started your channel yet, but you're interested in becoming a YouTuber. That's what that track is for, and that's the ticket I bought because I was like, well, I'm a creator, like that's what I am. And then the third track is the industry track, which is for, well, people in the industry, not just the YouTube industry, but kind of media in general, or anything that could be related to internet, even just companies that want to get involved with YouTubers. That's what it can be. But industry track is also for the big YouTubers, and I knew going into this that all the big YouTubers would be getting industry passes, but I didn't really consider myself to be a big YouTuber, and I just felt like the ticket was too expensive. And so it was just like, okay, well, this is my first VidCon, I'm gonna go with the creator track and see how it goes. And now I've seen how it goes, and I'm like, dang it, why did I get the creator track ticket? So the Anaheim Convention Center has 3 levels where VidCon was taking place, and so the main floor is where all the community members are. They're not allowed on the 2 upper floors, but anyone can go on the main floor regardless of your ticket. And then the second floor is only for industry and creators, and then the third floor is for industry only. So it's kind of like this tier where only certain people are allowed in certain locations. And so as a creator, I could go first and second floor. And on the second floor, there were creator panels. And this is kind of where I realized I went wrong. These panels were very novice in a sense. like it was all information I already knew. So that's when I was kind of feeling like, okay, like these panels are interesting, but this is all stuff I already know. I'm not really learning anything from these, so is it really worth my time? Like, I don't know. That's just kind of how I was feeling, and I was looking at what some of the industry panels were, and I was like, okay, I feel like these would be more interesting to me. Even though the creator ones were still interesting. It was kind of just reinforcing stuff I already knew, and then hearing a couple different things that maybe I didn't know. And then in the one panel, the person in charge was surveying the crowd, and they're like, okay, who here has at least 1,000 subscribers? And so some people raised their hands, like a decent amount. And then I thought he was gonna go up from there, but he went down. He's like, okay, how many people here have 500 subscribers? And I was just like, oh man, he went down to like 10, 1. I don't remember the exact numbers, but he went down from 1,000, and I was like, oh, that's weird that he would think everyone here has so few subscribers. And then there was the creator keynote, which is kind of like one of the final panels, and it's just kind of like one of the bigger panels, I guess, where they just address stuff about YouTube and whatever. I don't know, I'm bad at explaining things. But at one point, they're surveying the crowd again. So the person's like, okay, who here has over 100,000 subscribers? So me and Valerie raise our hands, and he's like, what are you guys doing here? Like, he was saying that like the creator track is for kind of beginners, and so he's like, to the people who have over 100,000 subscribers, like, what are you even doing here? And I was like, oh, okay. Plus there was probably like 1% or less of people who raised their hand at that. I didn't look behind me to see all the people behind me, but based on people in front of me, there were very few people who raised their hand to say they had over 100,000 subscribers. And I was just like, okay, this is further confirmation that I got the wrong ticket. I'm supposed to get the industry ticket. Another thing that really bummed me out were the parties, because they were either industry only, or you had to be like friends with someone with an industry ticket or something like that. I don't know how that works, but I couldn't even access the Hilton Hotel or anything like that, because obviously they're trying to protect the YouTubers in a sense, and the people who are just staying in the hotel who aren't involved with YouTube or VidCon at all. They're just trying to prevent there from being like mobs of fans hanging out in the lobbies and stuff and blocking the way and causing mayhem, whatever. So that makes sense, but because I had a creator ticket, I didn't get to go to any of the parties, and that made me sad. I'm the kind of person where when I go to an event, I'm willing to shell out extra money to get a better experience. If it comes to buying a physical item, I'm like, but if it's for an event and if I can improve my experience by getting a better ticket, I usually do. Like if I'm going to a football game, I always try to buy the best seats possible. And so I always end up getting like the most expensive tickets because I want the good seats, right? And so that's the kind of mindset I have. And so with that being said, you're probably wondering, well, then why didn't you buy the industry ticket? I guess I just felt like the price jump was so huge, and I didn't really know if I was supposed to get the industry ticket or not. But now that I've been to VidCon, I realized yes. So to me, knowing there was a better ticket out there that got me access to more panels and like the parties and all that, I just felt like I was missing out on stuff. And so that's what I don't like. When I start to feel like I'm missing out, that's when I feel like I'm not enjoying it as much. So it's my own fault, but I think that's why I didn't really enjoy it as much as I could have. Also, this is a YouTube convention. I saw 3 YouTubers that I know. And that's not including at a panel, because obviously if you go to a panel where a certain YouTuber is appearing, you're guaranteed to see that YouTuber. But I mean someone outside of a panel that I actually got to talk to. Well, actually, well, here's the thing. 2 of those 3 actually were at a panel, and I caught them after the panel / event. The other one was a random encounter. It's like, oh, hey, I know who you are on YouTube. And that was it. 3 people. That's pretty bad. Like, it's a YouTuber convention. Where are all the YouTubers? It was, ugh. And I know it's partially to do with the whole Christina Grimmie situation. They wanted to up security to protect the YouTubers, but I feel like they went too far. And I don't know how much VidCon itself was regulating this, because there were industry pass holders roaming around. I just didn't know who they were. But I feel like they just kind of hid away the YouTubers. Because I know the one thing they mentioned, because I sent out an email saying, we're upping security, blah, 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 after panels, all the panelists must exit the room. Like, everyone has to clear the room after panels. And for the most part, they did that. Sometimes people would still hang around, but some YouTubers would hang around after the panels and actually talk to people, but most of them just kind of ran away. And I know some people kind of have to be ushered away. Like, if you're super huge, like Markiplier, obviously there's gonna be crowds that form around you, and there's gonna be hordes of screaming fangirls, and you want to try to minimize that. But I feel like not everyone's that popular, like, and it's just kind of a shame that you didn't really see much for big YouTubers hanging around. And I know of a lot of YouTubers, like, okay, there's like the amount of YouTubers I watch, but then there's like huge amount of YouTubers that I know of that I don't actively watch, but I know who they are, and I didn't see any of them. I saw 3 people, okay? So that's why it's like, oh, wow. I don't know, I came to a YouTube convention to meet other YouTubers and stuff, and didn't really. So I was disappointed at that too. I was just like, where are the people at, man? So again, it's one of those things where if I had the industry ticket, I would be able to go to their lounges, go to their panels, and at least meet more people. But I did get to meet some of my viewers, so that was really, really nice. And I really loved meeting you guys, and that made me feel a whole lot better about everything, because it's not just about meeting other YouTubers, it's also about meeting my viewers. And so I was really excited for that, and everyone was really awesome that I met, so thank you. Thank you for coming out and saying hi and all that stuff. And I know there are some people that I missed seeing, so if you didn't get a chance to meet me, maybe at the next VidCon. Randomly inserted clip that I'm filming the next day. I realized I forgot to mention a key thing that I was planning on mentioning, is just that what I love so much about VidCon is that you're surrounded by people who understand what you do and who have a common interest. And I almost got emotional over that. Hearing people speak at the panels and just knowing that, like, this is my community. These are my people all surrounding me at this convention, and people who actually understand YouTube and YouTubers, and they're not random people who are like, oh, what's YouTube? What, you make videos? I don't know. They're just people who truly understand more than even my own family would understand, you know? So it just, I got a little emotional over that, just being happy that I'm surrounded by my own kind. I don't really know what else to say about this, but I'll just say some closing words. So if you are planning on going to VidCon and you are a YouTuber, think hard about which pass you want to get. Because with the creator pass, you're not really going to see that many YouTubers, because you can't go into the signing hall and you can't access the industry areas, but that's really where all the YouTubers are. And so I don't know, like, obviously there were a lot of smaller YouTubers in the creator track, but I didn't know any of them. Like, I met some new people and everything, but like, I was looking to make connections with people I know, or people that I've maybe talked to a little bit online and want to talk to them more in person or something like that. And so it's just like, I don't know, I felt like the creator track left me in this weird in-between stage. So if you're a medium-sized creator, I would say go with the industry track. And if you're a small channel, you probably don't need industry track, but still make that decision for yourself as to what you want, I guess. Because I definitely feel like I got the wrong ticket, and now I'm kicking myself for it, but I know what to do next time, at least, right? Like, it was a learning experience. If it's your first time doing something, that's where you learn everything. Kind of like with D23, we know what we're gonna do differently at next D23, all that stuff. So yeah, next year I'll probably get the industry ticket and stay in the Hilton, even though the Hilton's so expensive. So just to summarize, I feel like most of this was my fault for not getting an industry ticket, but part of it was VidCon's fault and how they kept all the YouTubers like hidden away. And I know some people could have come down, some YouTubers probably just chose to stay behind the scenes, but some were probably kind of told to. If they were the biggest ones, they're probably like, okay, don't go down there because you're gonna have hordes of people chasing you around and we can't have that. I just feel like hiding the YouTubers was not the appropriate response to the whole Christina Grimmie situation. Just because a bad event happens doesn't mean we have to live in fear and hide. There are bad people out there who want to instill fear and terror into people. And why would we just cave into that? I feel like that's the equivalent of giving in to the trolls on YouTube and responding to the trolls, feeding the trolls. I feel like that's kind of what happened. I feel like it was a little too drastic and unnecessary, and we shouldn't have to hide because of one bad event happening. I just hope that by next year everyone's kind of calmed down a bit and they're not so afraid, and we could have like a normal VidCon convention where the YouTubers are actually interacting with all the viewers and stuff instead of segregating people off into different areas, because I feel like that was not the proper solution. So anyway, those are my ramblings regarding VidCon 2016 / my very first VidCon experience, and just hopefully that'll help you guys if you're planning on going to VidCon in the future, or maybe it was just interesting to listen to, I don't know. But I have to check out in like an hour or less, so I gotta start organizing my suitcase. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.